organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV,
hospitals around the U.S. are preparing for Ebola. What are the university hospitals doing?
And no cash at the C-store? Find out why the UI is going plastic.
And in sports, Hawkeye football is back.
Hear from Kirk's parents and the squad as they gear up for homecoming.
All that and more is coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Austin Luce.
And I'm Hannah Hawks.
Since the first reported case of Ebola in the U.S. hospitals around the country are preparing for the worst. Hospitals in New York City are so concerned they've secretly been sending in actors with mock symptoms to emergency rooms to test the staff. Locally, UI hospitals and clinics have not seen any actual or even suspected cases of the Ebola virus, but are preparing accordingly. Dr. Lorene Herwalt said, "We are very busy preparing the hospital and its staff so that we are ready to care for a patient who either needs to have testing for Ebola infection or who has Ebola infection." So far, UIHC has created screening tools, developed a comprehensive plan, and has developed resources for the staff. Preparations will continue.
Lena Dunham, the writer and star of HBO's hit series Girls, visited Iowa City tonight to promote her new book. Dunham read at the Engler Theater alongside Curtis Sittenfeld, an Iowa Writers Workshop graduate and novelist. Her book, entitled Not That Kind of Girl, is about lessons that she has learned through her life experiences. With the cost of a ticket, attendees received a signed copy of the book, signed by Dunham.
Students are applying lessons learned in the classroom to real businesses through a 3-semester program at Iowa's Marketing Institute. Dane's Dairy, a local ice cream business originating in 1960, was set to close its door this week due to competition with other ice cream shops. Now, with help from UI students, Dane's business is reverting back to normal, something that hasn't been seen in 20 years. A business plan for Dane's Dairy will be completed this spring. The program hopes to help more businesses in the future.
If you stop by any C-stores or libraries for a bite to eat on campus, you may have noticed they are no longer accepting your cash. Daily Iowan TV reporter Taylor Smith answers why.
For the past few weeks, both C-stores and libraries have only been accepting either cash or credit. For many students, this has caused some frustration, but some students are enjoying the new change.
Much of the C-store is the problem. It's that with Wild Bill's coffee shop over near North Hall requiring only cash, I have to keep both around me, which is pretty inconvenient.
I haven't really had a problem with it. Like, I can just charge it to my Hawk dollars, or I can just charge it to my U-bill. Like, I don't really carry cash. It's kind of hard to carry cash around in college. You probably want to use it for other things, so I don't know, it hasn't been too bad.
So what is it that the university is benefiting from this new system?
We were having issues with overages and shortages with our cash handling, and when that happens, we have to take cashiers off the registers. And when you do that, then you go down from, for example, at the library, a lot of times we can only have one register working because we didn't have enough people that were able to run the cash registers due to the university policy.
Although this change may be tough for some, Assistant Director Bob James says that it won't be long until we get used to it.
And Michigan State was cashless at a few of their locations, not all. But they all told us what to expect, that there were going to be some people that weren't going to be happy with the change and things like that. You were going to meet some resistance, but eventually, like with any change, people get used to it and move on and figure out how to make the system work.
But for now, using plastic instead of paper will be something we'll have to adjust to. Taylor Smith, Daily Iowan TV.
The UI is following a trend. Michigan State and some Illinois universities are already cashless as well.
And still to come, find out how used plastic and cardboard went further than the recycle bin for UI students yesterday.
And in sports, quarterback Jake Rudock had a week to recover from his injury. Hear from Ferentz if he is good to go.
Speaking of football, Hannah, I'm really looking forward to that big football game this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. Let's go over to Taylor in the weather studio to see if the weather's going to cooperate for us on the big game on Saturday.
Yes, guys, temperatures are looking great this weekend, but if you haven't bought your fall jacket, you may want to get one. Tomorrow morning, you can expect temps to be in the low 60s with clear skies. Tomorrow afternoon, temps will rise to the upper 60s. Tomorrow evening, you can expect temps to drop to the upper 40s. On Thursday, you can expect heavy rain from morning to the late evening with temperatures in the low 60s. Throughout homecoming week, temperatures will remain in the upper 30s and low 60s with partly cloudy skies. Hopefully, UI's score against Indiana will be as high as the temperatures in the upper 50s with partly cloudy skies. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Students splashed their way into homecoming yesterday at the field house. This was one of many ways for UI students to celebrate homecoming. Daily Iowan TV reporter Katie Stites has the story.
All sorts of groups from campus arrived with their handmade boats, made of recyclable materials only, to see which would brave the waves best.
So we're just basically just trying to get all the student orgs and resident halls involved. Tonight they'll be having a race with their boats to see who can make it the furthest in the pool.
The race has been part of homecoming week for 4 years now, but some groups were newcomers.
We have never participated in any homecoming events. We decided to do it this year because we're the Environmental Coalition and it makes sense that we would use recyclable material to build a boat. I'm pretty nervous for the race because I'm the captain and I hope I don't sink or fall in the water.
While the Environmental Coalition boat didn't have much luck, some groups had a slight advantage in their boat-making skills. The Chinese and Iowa City group has many engineers who actually used formulas to calculate their boat's stability.
Yeah, we were trying to make it good and make it stable, but it turns out not that good, but yeah, we still win the second place, so it's a really good experience.
The group was pretty pleased with their second place finish. Jung Kai was going to man the raft, but calculations said he was too heavy.
Yeah, we chose another girl there. She's much more, less heavy than me, so yeah, she was picked eventually.
Reporting from the University of Iowa, this is Katie Stites, Daily Iowan TV.
If you're interested in participating in more homecoming festivities this week, you can go to homecoming.uiowa.edu.
Parking on the UI campus can often be a hassle. Daily Iowan TV's Katie Sextro spoke with students about this issue on today's Street Chatter.
There are several ways to get around campus, and most of the time, driving is not ideal. Even with over 16,000 parking spaces available at the University of Iowa, parking still seems to be a big issue. There are various parking ramps, meters, and lots at the university, but they all require you to pay or obtain a pass to park in. Most students find parking on campus a big hassle.
I think it's definitely a little overpriced. It seems like everywhere you go you have to pay a meter, and if you're not paying a meter you get a large fine for it, so I think it's a little ridiculous.
Students normally avoid driving to class for various reasons.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty expensive to get on campus parking, and with a limited amount of spots, I guess it's pretty hard.
Yeah, I think just parking in general in Iowa City kind of sucks, especially on campus. That's why I never really drive to class.
The university's Parking and Transportation Director, Dave Ricketts, explained that the reason people have to pay high amounts for parking is to help maintain and construct parking facilities. He also explained why there are no free lots on campus.
We don't want our parking in the middle of campus to be occupied by people to put a car there and just leave it there. It's too valuable. We need to take our best space and make it available to people who are coming here.
There are various forms of transportation available on campus aside from driving. Students can walk, take the CAN bus, ride their bike or moped. While driving will still be an option, the current prices and location of parking will stay the same for now. This is Katie Sextro reporting from Central Campus, Daily Iowan TV.
Ricketts said construction has and will continue to make parking difficult to find. It has been a long month here in Iowa City with the Hawkeye football team on the road or on the bye week.
Yeah, Austin, it has been, but the Hawks are back in action at Kinnick this weekend for their homecoming game against Big Ten opponent Indiana. To hear more about this upcoming game, let's toss it to the sports studio where Laura Bulunda and Danny Payne are standing by. Guys?
Yes, Hannah and Austin, the Hawkeye faithful will get to finally see the Hawks back in action this week against Indiana. I'm Danny Payne.
And I'm Laura Bulanda. Full show tonight as we will give you the inside look at the Spirit Squad's practice. But we start things off on the gridiron.
2 weeks ago against Purdue, quarterback C.J. Beathard recorded his first start as a Hawkeye in place of Jake Rudock due to an injury.
Beathard played a solid game, completing 17 of 37 passes. But with the bye week, many questioned if Rudock would be the one under center when Saturday comes.
And they both have things to improve upon, like all of us do. So, we're gonna keep pushing forward. But I mean, I've said many times I got total faith in Jake, and that's yeah, he's going to start the game unless something happens between now and Saturday.
Ferentz did, however, note that both players will be taking snaps. This concept of a two-quarterback system is different from most college teams, but players say they can handle it.
No, we've both been out there enough with JK and CJ that we both know that, whoever's out there, we have timing. All of us have timing with both of them, and we feel comfortable and confident in both of those guys.
Being able to be comfortable with both quarterbacks does take time, something the Hawks had a lot of with last week off.
Ferentz said the break is something he enjoys.
I've become a huge fan of bye weeks. I just think it gives you an opportunity to really step back and look at things a little bit, dissect a few things, and try to just pinpoint a couple things that really you want to focus on. And then the other part is it gives everybody a chance to get reduced a little bit.
One player who could use the break was running back Mark Wiseman, who leads the Hawkeye offense with 34 touches this season.
Our daily Iowan TV football reporter Chelsea Brown caught up with the senior earlier today.
Thanks, guys, and I'm standing alongside running back Mark Wiseman. Now, Mark, Indiana, they average 513 total yards a game, ranking 3rd of the Big Ten. Iowa seems to be kind of a 10-point deficient, get our butts into gear kind of thing. So what kind of worries do you have about putting points on the board against the Hoosiers?
Yeah, it's on the offense to keep their offense off the field, have longer drives out there because they have explosive offense. So it's definitely on us. We need to have a faster start than before and see where that takes us.
And now 2 quarterbacks in the lineup. How do you guys kind of adjust to each of these styles?
I don't know if we really have to adjust. Whoever's in there, we have full confidence in, and doesn't really change anyone else's job really out there. Just doesn't matter who's out there. We have full confidence in them.
And Indiana's last away game was an upset to Missouri, kind of a big game. What do you think that'll do to the matchup this weekend?
Yeah, they have a good team, a very good team. It's going to be a tough game for us, and they have our full attention this week, and we have to have a good week of practice and then see where that takes us.
All right, well, thank you once again, Mark, and back to you guys in the studio.
The football team isn't the only group coming home this weekend, as the Iowa Spirit Squad was also away helping to cheer on the Hawks.
They put a lot of work into getting themselves game ready at practice, but sometimes practice isn't enough. I took a look into the way the cheerleaders have time to add some of those final touches. The University of Iowa cheerleading team practices 5 days a week at 2 hours each day. But if that's not enough time for them to perfect their skills, there's another opportunity for them to put some extra work in.
In essence, Open Gym is an opportunity for people to come in and work on their skills with tumbling and stunting and improve their abilities in those areas.
I come to Open Gym because it helps me advance my skills. I get a lot of good work done at practice, and I get a chance to stunt with different people. It also helps, my tumbling and things that I wasn't so good at before.
Though it's a time for the team to individually enhance their tumbling and stunting, junior Alexis Puebla uses these open gyms to benefit her in other ways as well.
It's a good outlet from homework and school, and it's an easy way to procrastinate.
Senior Caitlin Dornbeer sees this extra practice time as a way for the team as a whole to improve in many different ways.
Open Gym's a really great time for us to not only work on our own skills together with our partners that we usually have, but it also gives us a chance to spread out and work with people that you haven't necessarily had the best chance to work with. Also, it gives us the opportunity to spread out and meet some of the new people and really get a chance to recruit some really great talent and work with them for the future years.
The benefits for the team are they have an opportunity to work on things that they want to work on. During scheduled practices, we have a certain routine that we go through with pyramids and stunts and tumbling. This gives them the opportunity to kind of work on things that they want to work on or want to excel in. So it's an opportunity for them to individually work on skills to improve themselves.
This has been Laura Belanda, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
That'll do it for us here in the sports studio.
Tomorrow, be sure to tune in to see what it takes to be the Hawkeye drum major. Austin, Hannah, back to you at the desk.
And that's all we have for you tonight.
Catch up with us tomorrow night at the same time or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
I'm Austin Luce.
And I'm Hannah Hawks. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Iowa SJMC.
Want a major that'll take you somewhere?